What's up guys, today I'm going to be doing a Sulcata Tortoise care guide, and I'm going to start off with the enclosure. And I left the top off, I'm about to take it off, but I just wanted to show you guys that I use these little cords to hold this up so that no predators could get to them. So I'm just going to explain my enclosure right now. So this is just a cement mixing tub. You guys could get this at anywhere, any hardware store. These are the larger ones. There's smaller ones too that I use for soaking them. But as you can tell, I don't have a water bowl in here. That's because I have a lot of babies in here. And if you have a lot of babies, when they drink water, the babies will be peeing. They like to flush out their body completely. So they drink in fresh water and they pee out the old water. So if you have, let's say I have 8 babies right now. If you have 8 babies drinking and peeing out of the same bowl, they're gonna probably get sick. They're gonna get infections from other babies just peeing, and it's just gonna be worse. So what I like to do is I soak them in one of these smaller cement mixing tubs, and I'm about to do that right now just to show you guys how I do it. So let me prepare that. All right, so I basically just put in very little amount of water. You can see right there, it's less than the size of my fingernail, and that's so that the babies, when they're in the water, they're able to stand out, and you can see that his head is not under the water. So I just want it to be a little bit lower than his chin, so that he doesn't drown. And usually these babies aren't stupid. They'll take their heads out, and you really don't have anything to worry about when you're doing this. If you have one baby, you could keep a water bowl in here and just make sure to clean it out every day so that the same thing doesn't happen. I've had a friend of mine that she just had one baby and she didn't clean her water. I think she cleaned her water bowl out every other day, and the baby got sick off of an infection. The baby's doing okay now, but she had to take him to the vet and give him some medication for that. So I'm just getting all the babies right now and putting them in here. Alright, so there's one more baby. Here we go. These are all the babies I have. And I have a lot more babies that are about to hatch out in June. A couple more weeks, they can start hatching. So once, I don't know if I'm still gonna have all these babies by then. I probably will keep a couple of them just to grow them out. But if I need more space, I'll use the tortoise house that I have here. The reason I'm not using that tortoise house right now is just because this is a lot easier to move around. Plus I had some animals in there when these babies were hatching out. So now let me talk about the enclosure setup. Alright, so I bought this hide so that they could hide under it. They do need one of these. I just like to put in the corner there. Better for them since they don't run around the corners as often. So they love to go under this. This is definitely necessary to have if you have a baby tortoise. And if you guys are living somewhere drier, you might want to put some sphagnum moss. I have a little piece here. Let me see, so I can show you. It's it looks somewhat like that. I don't have a lot, have it inside. But I live in Florida, and the humidity is good for them. I just like to mist them down every day, or not? Yeah, every day, or maybe twice a day. I use some of this. I just spray them down like this to make sure that they're nice and moist. And I like to do this before I take them out to the sun, just so that the heat could evaporate it and it'll be moist. There's a lot of mosquitoes here, so I don't like to keep it too wet either, so that the mosquitoes don't get stuck in here and they will. Oh look, one of the babies is drinking right now. You can see she has her head underwater. Not this one. This one is. This one's just has her head underwater. But this one was drinking. So I just leave them in here for about 10 minutes so that they all have a chance to drink water, and then I'll put them back in here. And substrate that I use is just topsoil with some cypress mulch. There you can see. You could use just the topsoil or just the cypress mulch, but I like to have a little mix. I put the cypress mulch in the bottom and then the topsoil on top of it, just so that the mulch could help a little bit with drainage too, and it doesn't get too soaked either. So yeah, and if you have one of these, they'll have a built-in hide, so you won't really need that one. You could put another one if you'd like. And the good thing about these tortoise houses is that you could add another one and you can make 2, and once your tortoise gets bigger you could just add them. And I have You can see some wheels, so I could just drag them out because these tortoises do weight a lot, and I like to put mine in the sun. There's no sun right now, but yeah. So I use these because they're lighter, they're cheaper, and they're also packed so they can't see through it and they don't get stressed out. If you guys wanted to use aquariums, I recommend you buy one of these instead. They're a lot cheaper, a lot lighter, and like I said, they can't see through it. In aquariums, so they could see through it, the tortoises would get stressed out and they'll just run against the edge over and over just because they think that they could get past it. So definitely recommend one of these before buying an aquarium. Alright, if you were to use an aquarium, you should probably just get tape and put it here. So if you guys already have one, you don't have to just completely blow it off. You could put some tape so that the tortoise can't see out, maybe put 2 pieces so that it's a bit higher. And now what I want to talk about next is lighting. I keep them outside, and the temperature here in Florida it's perfect for them. It's like 80. Well, I keep them in the shade, so it's probably around 80 to low 90s. Usually it can get hotter than that, maybe high 70s. But if you keep them indoors, you'll need one of these. It doesn't have to be this lamp, it could be one of these for heat. And then I recommend getting a long tube of UVB so that it'll cover the whole enclosure. I don't have any of those that I could show you right now, so yeah, this is what I used. I don't use UVB on them because they will get natural sunlight. I'll show you what I do with them now, but you definitely need it because without UVB they won't be able to absorb their calcium, and then they'll get metabolic bone disease and they'll get pyramiding. I don't know if you guys know what that is. I don't have any examples to show you. Oh, actually I do. I have a Hermes that has some. Alright, here we go. This isn't a Sulcata tortoise, it's a Hermes tortoise, but you can see his shell is pretty deformed. That could be from a calcium deficiency. I'm not really sure. I don't know much about the calcium deficiency and all that, but this is what would happen if you guys don't give them calcium. It could be other reasons too, but calcium is a big part in it because they need the calcium to grow their shells, and you can see that his got deformed. This one has a little bit too, but it's not as bad. This could be just pyramiding from diet, but yeah. I got these guys as adults already, so that's why they have pyramiding. So far, thank God, none of my tortoises have had metabolic bone disease or anything, or at least none of the ones that I've raised. I don't think this guy has had it. He seems pretty healthy other than the shell, but definitely give them calcium. You don't want them getting sick. Alright, I'll get back to calcium in a second, but I want to show you what I do so that the tortoises get some UVB. They're not in here right now, they're still soaking, but probably not right now because it's a bit hot, but I like to take them out early in the mornings when the sun is not too hot so they could get some sunlight. So I just give them very small pieces of sun depending how hot it is. So like now it's really hot, so I just give them that little piece, and if they'd like to they could bask there, and usually if it's too hot they'll just come to this side and just stay here. So I'm gonna put them all back right now. There you can see that one of the tortoises pooped a little bit, and over here she did too. And like I said, they just flush out their body, so that's why there's some, it's always gonna be like this in the water. So if you keep a bowl, make sure to clean it out every time you see that. Alright, so there you can see that the tortoises are going into the sun to get some heat. Like I said, it's really hot right now, so they'll probably just be here for a couple minutes before they reach heat over here. So I'm going to put the cage back up, and then I'm going to show you what I do with the calcium. Alright, there we go. This is a must if you're going to keep them in one of these outdoors, so that predators don't get to them. I haven't had any problems with predators yet. The worst thing I've ever seen as a predator here is a cat, and they really don't do that much to these guys. The little ones, yes, but the ones that I have outdoors, not really. So they're perfectly healthy here, or fine here, protected. I'm not gonna put the cords because I'll be back in like 2 minutes, so it's not gonna be a problem. Plus I have my guard dog Gracie here to protect them, so if anything does come, she'll definitely fight them off. She has a black belt, so. Alright, so this is what I use for calcium. Let me show you. This is has no D3. D3 is like a vitamin that they could overdose on, so if you're gonna give them calcium, you might want it without D3. You're gonna keep them indoors. You need some D3, so just get both, and then you have to use one day and then the other one another day. So yeah, this is the one I use. I just take up a little bit and I mix it in with their food. Let me open it so you guys can see it. You can see it's like a little powder that you just mix in with your food. Another thing that has good calcium, I don't know if this one has it. I haven't checked on the diets of this one, or the nutrition facts on this one. But I have another kibble that I have outside. I'm not going to show you it or if I go back there I'll show you it, but You can see it's like kibble. It usually contains some calcium, so I'm trying to read to see if it has anything. I don't see anything, but yeah, this usually has enough. Just make sure when you read the facts, you'll be able to see if it has calcium or not, and it should be good. I like to feed them that to supplement everything, so that I feed maybe twice a week, 3 times. This is perfect for them. That's tortoise food, tortoise diet. Make sure not to get this one. This is turtle food, so just get tortoise diet. But yeah, that works great for them. Alright, I thought I'd show you guys the eggs. These eggs are gonna be, both of these are gonna start hatching out in like 10 days. Probably be hatched out already in 10 days, to be honest. Not completely, but they'll start hatching out in 10 days. Some of them would be hatched out. But yeah, these are some big eggs. These are Nicks. These are Luna. You can see size difference is great. Luna lays a lot more than Nicks though. Alright, so the last thing I'm going to show you guys in their enclosure is this. This is cuttle bone, and this is a great source of calcium. I just put this in for these guys. I used to have it for my other babies, but these guys I didn't have any. I wet it a little bit because it was a bit not dirty, but I don't know, it was in there, and I think it might have been a little dusty, so I just cleaned it off just to be safe. But yeah, they like to chew on this, and this is great for calcium. It'll also take away like the sharpness of the beak, though these guys are too small right now to have overgrown beaks. But if you do have overgrown beaks, this is a good way to get rid of it. And pumpkin too. So yeah, let me show you guys what I like to feed them, and then that's where I'm gonna end the video. Okay, the first thing I want to show you that I like to feed them is all this grass. Grass is the most important thing in a Sulcata tortoise's diet. They're a grassland species. I mean that they're grazers. They'll eat 70% of their diet is just this grass. And let me show you the food that I was talking about earlier. This is where one of them was starting to dig. I didn't have that hide. I'll show you the hide now that I have for them in a second. But this is the food I was talking about. This is called Pretty Pet Tortoise Diet, and this is great for them. This is what I've been feeding them for like 13-15 years. I don't know, as long as I've had tank. I don't know exactly, because I was just a baby when I had tank, but my grandfather always fed him this. So yeah, this diet is great for them. Alright, so there are my big tortoises. I don't know if you guys can see it because it's a little bright, but yeah, I think you can see them right there. It's a shadow, and that's Nick's. And let me show you, this is the hide that I made for them not so long ago. This is perfect for them, since they could just go in there and hide. It's all sealed up completely. You can see there she was digging a little bit in the inside, but I had to cover it up. I added some more hay so that she wouldn't dig in there, but it's perfect for them. They don't have to worry about digging holes anymore, and they'll hide under this and under all the plants in the yard. Alright, so this is my garden. This is where I grow all the food for the tortoises, and this is probably my favorite thing to feed them. This is a Puntia spineless cactus, and this is a great source of calcium. So if you have some of these, all you have to do is cut off a leaf, put it in the ground like this, stick it in the ground, and look, it'll grow perfectly. Now's the great time to do it because it's getting to summertime, and that's when they grow best. During winter they won't grow that much, but you can see now during summer they have a bunch of new leaves growing. During winter it'll just be a couple, maybe every couple weeks. Another great thing that I like to feed them is hibiscus. You can see the flowers. They'll eat the leaves, the flowers, everything on this plant. So yeah, these are great sources of food right here. I'm trying to grow some pumpkins, melons, cucumbers, a bunch of food here, and I kind of just want this to grow and just fall into their enclosure so that they could eat it here. But this is another hide that I have for them. It's where I keep my hermits and my smaller sulcatas. See them right there. Not my small sulcatas, but my juvenile sulcatas. So yeah, and these are really for eating. These are mostly for hiding, although it is edible. Everything in here, every plant in here is edible. So yeah, this is it. You could also feed a mulberry. That's one of my favorite plants, just because the berries are good for them. You can see right here, they'll fold up, and I just drop it in front of a tortoise and they'll start eating it. I'm just gonna throw it over there and they'll eat it there. So yeah, mulberries are great. They get nice and big, have really big leaves. I don't have one here. I have some at my grandparents' house, and I'm planning on getting a plant. I already got a cutting, and I'm not sure where I'm gonna plant it, but I just need to wait, because I'm gonna plant it on this side with the bigger sulcatas. So I just need to make sure that the plant's strong enough that these guys won't trample it. Thinking of maybe putting it here so it'll grow, and it'll be like a shaded area there, but I'm not too sure on where I'm gonna plant it. And if you guys have seen my other videos, I'm trying to build a pond here in the future, just so that they could soak in. It's not gonna be like a deep pond, but it's probably gonna be like a foot at its deepest. So yeah, just keep watching. Make sure to subscribe and like this video so that more people will see it, and turn on post notifications so you guys can see this pond is coming up in a couple months, probably during summer. I'm gonna try to build it. But yeah, thanks for watching. Leave any comments if you have any questions, and have a great day.